Hi, welcome back to Smoky Hill Bonsai. I've been talking for a while about wanting to take you out and show you the trees, and so that's what I'm going to try and do today. I built a little area up on the porch. I shouldn't say built, I kind of set up a little area on the porch to try to film some trees. Um, I'm not sure what the sun's going to do. I kind of got a little late start than I wanted to. We are still in the midst of the COVID-19 issue, and so we're trying to help out around the house with some homeschooling and things like that. So I'm not sure. I wanted to film a little earlier in the day and later in the day, but here it is the afternoon. I don't know if the sun will cooperate well or not, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. If not, I will punt this and try it again later. So right now, the Bald Cypress trees are still leafing out. So the main thing I'm doing to them now is just watering them. As soon as the foliage all finish elongating and hardening off, I will then prune after that. Right now I've just put a basic fertilizer on, and again, once everything's hardened off, I will start with BioGold, and then I will feed throughout the summer that way. So let's see if I can move some trees up, and we'll take a look at them. I'll talk to you a little bit about maybe where I got the tree and when I dug that tree, and about kind of maybe the plans I have for the tree. But again, everything that I have right now, the main thing I'm working on is the roots, and I am playing with branches on the playing with the branches and stuff, but the branches aren't really a final thing right now. Again, just building the root system. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's the first tree that I want to talk about. This is a Bald Cypress, and I dug it, I believe, in about 2014. It was along a pond that had a lot of riprap or rock on the bank line for stabilization. And so in order to get to it, to dig it, I had to move a lot of rock out of the way first. After I dug the tree, I put it in just a mixture of some potting soil and turfus to let it recover. I also put it in a 3-gallon plastic nursery container. There's a little issue I have to work with here, some inverse taper. That was a result of growing up against a rock. So there's no roots coming out on that side of it. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna work on that. So there's decent Navari around the rest of it. Again, like I said, the roots are the main focus of the tree right now. This has a pretty decent root system under it. I moved it from the nursery pot, did a root pruning on it, and then put it in this wooden container, I think 2 years ago. And then I will grow it out again last season and this season, and then in the springtime of 2021 I will root prune it. So I'm going to grow this tree in a flat top style. So here's the next Bald Cypress tree. I think I dug this one around 2016. I'm going to do a flat top style with this one as well. Still working on the root system. I had dug this tree and put it in a mixture of potting soil and turfus, and I lost most of the stem. So I had a few branches survive halfway up what was the overall height of the tree at the time, and so I cut the dead trunk off of it and then developed one of the branches into this new leader. And then the old trunk that I cut off right here, it didn't look good. And so I just carved it away. I'm not sure what that final part's going to look like there. But again, like all the other cypress trees, I'm working on building the root system underneath. It also has a good root system. It's been in this pot for a couple years now. And the tree itself is healthy and looks good. Probably another repot on this tree before I start getting real serious about working on the branches. But this is gonna be a fun one. I like this tree a lot. So here is the next Bald Cypress. And just like the last one, same issue. I don't think it was a digging issue that caused that. I'm really not sure. I treated this tree, that last one, the same way I dig everything and care for it afterwards. But anyways, I think it'll make an interesting tree. I'm not worried about it. It's got a good root system. Again, like that first one, it was growing up against a rock right here, so it kind of got that flat surface there. If you're wondering why I put so much wire on the tree, on something that I am basically just mostly focused on working the root system right now, is, to be honest with you, it's just kind of practice. And I got a comment on the wire. I do a lot of projects around the house, and from time to time I end up with some extra copper wire, and I have tried to anneal my own wire, whether it's been in a fire pit or in a barbecue grill, and I can really soften it up, but I don't think that I am probably getting it to temperature that a good annealing would do. So I did, for the first time, I bought wire, bonsai wire, and I really love it. It's far superior than trying to do my own annealing. I'm pretty certain that it has to do with temperature. I'm not getting it hot enough, and I don't have access to a kiln or anything else that'll probably get any hotter or way to control it. So I will continue to buy wire in the future. But again, the wire on the tree, mostly practice. Now the main structure, probably gonna have that set, which will be fine. And I like the way you got some movement in it. Again, it'll be a flat top. And I will keep pruning on it, and I'll let these kind of act as sacrificial branches maybe. They won't be part of the final design, I'm sure. But again, root system building is the main goal. So right now, that area that's carved, I did put some cut paste around the edge of it, but the heart of the wood here has not been treated, and I have to figure out what the best thing to put on that is. I know some people just put a wood stain on it. I'm gonna have to look that up. If you have something that you use that you think is best, why don't you leave that in the comments and I'll give it a try. I dug this one in the spring of 2018, put it in this nursery container. I did chop the top down, and I am just letting this tree grow. We'll let it rebuild its strength, rebuild the root system, and then next spring I will take it out of the container and do a root pruning on it. But in the meantime, this tree's only function right now is to grow and grow healthy, regain strength and vigor. And I will begin fertilizing it pretty heavy soon. And as you can see, it is beginning to leaf out. Other than digging cypress trees, I also like to grow them from seed. And I grow probably 50 to 75 new ones every year. And I'm going to actually do a video a little bit later on how I sprout them and what I do with them. But in this little grouping here I put together last year, I've got about seven healthy trees. I'm going to grow them in air, keep sipping them back, kind of pruning them, working them in this container. I have a couple trees that are always late to leaf out, and they make me nervous every year. And this particular grouping has 2 trees in it that seem to leaf out a little bit later than everybody else. They should be fine. Again, primarily we're letting the roots build and letting the trees recover. So we'll grow them out. I'll grow them out, let them grow freely for a while, and then just kind of snip them back to make them behave a little bit. But this is fun. I'll be putting together several more groupings like this. Now back on the bench, I have 2 more trees, bald cypresses, that I did dig. There's not much interesting with them, mostly just stems. Actually, I have a lot back there that are just stems right now, so I'm not going to bore you with those. So they're basically seedlings that I've grown, and I'm growing them in bigger containers just to get some growth on them, thicken the trunks up some. I'd like to have a variety of different sizes seedlings for this reason of either planting in a group or to have some bigger trees. Hopefully one day I will find a piece of ground somewhere that I can field grow some trees. But for right now, I'm in my backyard, so I don't have that kind of room, and I don't want to commit a certain amount of time period of the trees in the ground in case we decide to sell our house and move into a new house, which is something that we've been talking about. So I don't want to plant anything in the ground here. I'll just grow them in big nursery containers for now. And so to kind of conclude a little bit here, these trees set out in full sun through most of the year. You can see some of my other seedlings in the background, some of the stuff I just sprouted. Some maples. There's a couple more that I grew that I didn't put on the video. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed seeing the bald cypress. I'm going to do pruning videos on them as soon as they are ready to start pruning. And like I said, in conclusion, the main function here is growing out root systems, making sure roots are nice and healthy, can support the work that we're going to do on the trees. A lot of the wiring I put on there is mostly just for practice. Once we get those systems good and healthy, we will start working more on the trunk and branch placement. If you're interested in following along with the bald cypress progress, please like and subscribe. And then I will shoot more videos of the bald cypress as I start pruning on them. And some videos introducing the elm trees. And then probably after that, some maple trees. And then I've got some crab apples. And then in the future, I'd also like to talk about seedlings and how I get them started. And also, I've got a couple that are air layered, so I'd like to talk about that also. Be healthy, be safe, and we'll get past this COVID-19 issue soon. Take care.